Hey everyone, thanks for watching. You are watching the Nicole and Craig show, and guess what we're not? We're not in John's studio.
Nope, not today.
Where are we, Hanson?
We are at 𝗵𝗄𝗃 Counterviolence out of Cedar Lake right now.
Yep. One very important thing about being a real estate agent is safety.
Yes.
You know, I think everyone should have some self-defense background, and we're over here with Michael Vanbeek. Where's Michael? Michael, come on here. We're at 𝗵𝗃 Counterviolence in Cedar Lake, and we are going to do some realtor safety training with you guys. And if you want, you can get in touch with Mike for other real estate safety training.
Now,
right,
oh, sorry, I didn't
go ahead.
talking. No, I was just going to say, let's point out that I am in workout clothes, and I told him 2 weeks ago we were going to do the show, and he is in jeans and his loafers. Get a shot of the loafers. So it's not, the miscommunication, not listening is normal, so it has nothing to do with me, all Craig. So
You know what? I'm going to agree with her for once. She's right. Everything she just said is
what?
right. Well, hold on. But when I go out and show houses, this is how I dress. So I thought we would practice the way we're going to have to train.
Really?
So,
Is
Mike,
that
what do
what
you think? Who do you think's right on that one, Mike?
So, I think you made some great points, both of you. Here we can practice and here we can apply.
There we go.
And we have to do both.
I'm going to apply to that. I'm so excited.
We'll let Michael
you guys
off
are
the
so
hot
excited
seat.
to see it.
We'll let Michael off the hot seat, and we're going to get you some great tips and things like that. So stay tuned. We got an awesome show. I'm pretty excited about it.
All right. So, guys, getting started, I think it's important that we frame what we're looking at because it's easy. We don't want to be walking around obsessed and paranoid about, oh my gosh, is someone going to attack me around every corner? And so I think sometimes you go to those safety things and they make you feel like, oh, check under your car, oh, do this, and it's just really overwhelming and it's really difficult to live life. So I want to take a look at how violence kind of happens from a scientific point of view, and then we can look at it in some of the ways and strategies we can use to stop it. So let's start here. Pre-violence. That's what this is. Pre-violence. This is how violence happens. Pre-violence, and then the plus is, did you hit them or did they hit you? So once you knew it was coming, were you able to defend yourself first, or did they start swinging at you? Then we have post-violence. So the first pre-violence has to do with understanding and educating yourself to know that the violent act was planned and started before they hit you. So as a realtor, they may have seen your poster or seen your card and have this affinity for you, so they call you and they set you up on this deal, and you go there, and so you have to know pre-violence-wise what to expect, okay?
Can I ask you a question on that?
Sure.
Mike? So let's say, like, if I'm a buyer and I'm going out and Nicole's showing me a house, if she shows up wearing workout gear, I should expect that I'm going to get my butt kicked. Is that right?
No.
Okay.
No, but good call. I mean, do you show houses in workout gear?
No.
But it's
Never.
a good question because, you know, there are those who feel, listen, I'm selling higher end homes, I should be in higher end gear. We'll call that gear.
Okay.
Or dress, right? So let's look at what's happening here when we look at our everyday strategies for self-defense in real estate. So let's do one real nice and easy. As we look to see what predatory recognition looks like or pre-violence cues, the way people behave, let's first look at having a game plan. A game plan that consists of color code. And let's look at our color code in terms of white, yellow, orange, and red, and look at them in people and places. So if I'm in X neighborhood where X amount of crime happens, that's going to tell me that I'm not in white. I should probably be in yellow or orange, okay? In terms of preparation, that determines what I'm wearing. I shouldn't be wearing high heels. I should wear some flats, perhaps slacks instead of this skirt, something professional but not too formal so that I can have mobility. Okay, so the color code determines what we're wearing, our gear, yes? And then the second thing it determines is contact management. That's part of the game plan. We want to consider what we're wearing, our gear, and how close am I going to let that person. And that is my big tip for today, is positional strategy. Because in real estate, it's very easy for people to get together and go over common papers and so forth. And would you mind taking a look at this? And we tend to get this as opposed to staying here, yes, and understanding the positional dynamics within contact management. Which means I don't know that I want to be the first one in to a room with a person behind to close the door. So as a rule, last one in, first one out. After you, sir. After you, couple. And then go in. And then let's go further. right? And so when you're showing them the house, it combines with some personal selling strategy that we're going to guide them through the house in terms of direction, but let them lead the way so they can go at their own pace and don't feel pushed. And it keeps you safe, closer to an exit as well. So that's what we can do before it even happens. Positional strategy, knowing how to get people to sign documents from here, across from you, rather than from here, right? I'm sure all the girls were like, hey, sexy, let me try to make my move on you. Here, look at this document.
I know.
Right?
It happens.
Top of the field, they might try to get a little close to you and go, hey.
I can
you
hope.
know, I can hope.
can
So, but sometimes people may feel, as a sales or an agent, that, well, he's just being nice, and well, I kind of got to be nice, and well, where's my line, guys? Where's my line? How nice do I have to be? And contact management is something that we use to underscore that we can be close, but only in a certain area. If you're close enough to hug somebody, you're too close. All business should be done somewhere else. You can go first. This is how you keep yourself safe, as well as send a good energy out.
And not to interrupt you, but
Yeah,
I kind of like, because a lot of times we talk about realtor safety, we really focus on women, and I like that situation that Mike just said of like, if Craig is showing a woman and she's by herself, sometimes we do have a tendency to be like, oh, he is being nice to me, so I have to be nice back, even though it makes us uncomfortable. So I do like that scenario of situational awareness for men as well, because a woman could be uncomfortable and you may not be able to tell. So if it's somebody that you don't know, you should definitely keep that separation of space.
Well, I like what Mike was saying too about, like, we show a lot in hallways and stuff like that. You know, you're in this small confined space. If it's with, let's say it's with a couple, and let's say they do mean to do some harm or something like that. You know, it's most of the time we didn't do a lot of, well, before COVID and stuff, we didn't do a lot of due diligence on pre-qualifying these, or even though we should have. But back then we weren't.
Same as a deal. You pre-qualify that person.
Yep.
Same. Before you go show a house, you pre-qualify this thing to make sure your safety coming out on the end.
Yeah, no. So I think that's a fantastic tip. Even I usually go first because I'm like, hey, let me, in case there's a dog or in case there's, you know, something that's going to threaten my buyer, you know, let me take that first one. But if I were, you know what, if I were female, I would probably want. I probably wouldn't want to put myself in that scenario.
And I teach all my female team members, like, you should always, like Mike said, you should always let them in first, especially if it's somebody that you don't know. Step back, hold the door open for them, things like that. If your sixth sense, I have had agents call me, I will always answer the phone, or somebody on the team will if they throw something in the private team chat like, I don't feel comfortable. We are going to track them down like nobody's business and stay on the phone with them until they do feel comfortable. And so that's, you know, or don't go. Like I tell my agents, if you get that feeling, do not ignore it. There's a reason why you're getting it, that red flags something. So listen to your instincts. And
not to be even more fearful or anything, but Mike, I'm sure a lot of your clients that take classes with you and stuff like that, they all thought too, it couldn't happen to me or something like that. And that's when your guard's down, that's when you're not worrying about all these things, and that's, unfortunately, that's probably when something bad can happen.
You know, we call that, yes, you talk about color codes, white, yellow, orange, red. We do a lot in our lives, and you're dealing with people every day who are investing a lot of money to move to a place where their white is safe for them and their family. They want to move to a place where they can be safe, secure in their person's house's papers and effects, and live life without the threat of violence knocking at their door or not being able to let your child out. But unfortunately, we have found that training for this isn't just a hobby, it's a life skill, because violence happens where life happens, number one. Number two, what makes you a good person makes you a great victim.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Let that sit for a second. Yeah? And finally, violence is unfair. So these three things make violence or training to protect yourself from that a life skill. Not a, well, if I have time, right? That's not what your husband wants to hear after an event, or what your friends want to hear when your face is cut open or beat open for the money in your wallet because you were showing a house late at night, right? Because it's one of the easiest setups. It's one of the easiest setups to say, hey, meet me over here, person with a big bank account, a debit card that I can take through a drive-through. I can hold you down, right? I can really, literally, let's go. We're going. Give me your credit card. What's the PIN? You stay here. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
This happens. I've done interviews and podcasts where we would take stories of everyday people from around USA and we would dissect the incident. What could we do to do better? A lot of these involve setups, involve real estate agents and brokers and people of getting people to a place where they're in business trying to make money, and they're in this mindset, we're gonna make money, I'm gonna do this, and this is this client, and I know it's important to them, and this is where our head's at. Next thing you know, they got their hand around your throat. Now listen, this is pretty scary stuff, but we know that there's an answer, that if I position myself and I do a little homework beforehand, and I know that, let's look at the end here for a second, that in the post-violence, that what happens, a lot of people talk about doing this move or doing this wrist lock, but whatever you do here, you've done your homework here, you're wearing, let's just say you wear something with some gym shoes and some jeans, and it's later at night, and hey, what'd you expect? How are you? This is a house, and you feel safe, and it was two guys looking to do a real estate investment. What do you know, right? So you show up prepared. Do you think the deal of the house is going to go through because you showed up prepared in jeans and tennis shoes with a nice suit jacket perhaps? Probably not. They'll probably respect you because you're forethinking about your safety, right? But what happens if you had to defend yourself? What do I do when it's over? My heart is racing, and my clothes are ripped a little bit, and is my purse, and where's my phone? And all of these things overwhelm. So we like to train it in a way that looks like this. Hey, stay back, I do what I have to do. Now, grab your phone, your purse, because I don't want to have to go back for the information that has my whereabouts of my children and my family, right? I want to make, so we have to clear my threats, I have to exit the situation, find a safe place, reorientate, decompress, and recall the situation to an authority member or something. Very few self-defense goes through this part, but this is very traumatic. And these are the details that will catch the person responsible so they don't do it again. Right? And so if we lightly, once in a while, maybe with your husband, maybe with a friend, maybe in the office while you guys got some downtime. Hey, do me this scenario. Hey, I was wondering if you could help me show. And then he does a move, and then you spend a few minutes a week practicing it with your office mates or something. At least there's a slight orientation to the awareness of it versus being afraid of it. And that's always the best action, because a little bit of something's better than a whole lot of nothing. I want you to look at self-defense like side mirrors of your car. I'm not a paranoid driver because I always have the opportunity to look. If I didn't have any mirrors, I would probably be a little bit paranoid. So look at different strategies in real estate, whether it's color coding, the area where you're buying in, the people you're buying from, positional strategies. Orientate this to a regular part of your real estate practice, just like checking the mirrors before your lane change.
I like it.
Yeah.
An ounce of prevention, right?
Kind of thing, right? I mean, these are the things we raise our kids with. But, you know, learn how to change a tire, for goodness sakes. Be able to cook your own meals, be able to do that, and have the life skill to be able to save yourself from a situation. It doesn't have to be perfect wrist lock or look like a Steven Seagal or a movie type of thing. You just have to know enough to get back to the people that you love. And, you know?
Yep.
Excellent.
For
Excellent.
sure.
Well, Mike, where can people, or you know what we'll do? We'll post where they can reach out to you. Because you do teach classes too, is that right? Like,
yes.
Can real estate, like, let's say a broker wants to do a safety class for his office, he can contact you, or she can contact you and set that class up with you?
Yes, you can go to focuscounterviolence.com. We have all the socials like everybody, right? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, so forth. And so you can get us at Focus Counterviolence in any one of those. We have programs like just specifically for a weapons program. One of the things I like to, if I could really quickly, is tell real estate agents, if you carry your phone, some martial arts experts will say that that's a liability, put it down so you can have your hands free. And I would suggest that my phone is hard, with a hard case, 4 hard corners and a glass case. So it's a neat little thing we call the weapons app. And so while you're talking on your phone, you still hit with it.
Weapons app.
Yeah, right? Clever, right? I knew you did that, right? So you can hit with it, hit with it, and hit with it, and now that thing is cutting somebody where before it was just your hand.
I'm not paying $150 a screen, man. I'm gonna just, I'll use something else, man.
Well, hey, listen, we all go back to this. How much is your life worth? Yeah. And that's what well, Mike, your lessons are people will say, well, that's too much. Well, how much is your life worth? And so that's what you're saying to yourself. Yes, I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to be professional, but my life is worth something. And to continue to receive the value I get from this career, I need to put that safety first.
That is cool.
Cool.
Yep. I do think every realtor should do something. Learn self-defense. Do something. You know, something bad happens, you can't take it back.
Yep.
True story.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Well, thank you, everyone. I think that does it for the day.
Thanks for having me out. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
And thanks for not letting Nicole hit me in the groin. I appreciate that.
There, I'll hit you like that.
Ouch.
I'm supposed to beat you up. I
All
can't,
right.
or Mike has to beat you up. Somebody has to beat you
Why
up.
don't we do some stuff with you training since you came? I don't want to waste your workout wear, okay? So why don't I let you hit some stuff, okay, for your training?
Bring him in.
I see her body language just changed.
Yes.
I see it too.
I
You guys,
sense aggression.
that was palpable.
Hey, why don't I let you hold the pad too?
Yeah.
There we go. That's what we need.
And I'll stand by and do some instructional.
Oh, she's gonna attack at me?
Why is
Yeah,
that? Why is that?
we'll do the clinical lead thing, so hold the corner for us. So she can do that.
Oh, I accidentally
Hey,
missed it.
turn this way so you don't get the light.
This guy's got a plan.
Yeah.
I do this a lot, usually by
Kidding. I'm not
myself.
gonna hit him in the nuts.
Of course not.
So you're gonna grab the neck, yeah? You're gonna grab the neck like this. You squeeze with your forearms. Don't grab like this or an open thing.
I'm gonna do this?
Yes,
I
yes.
got
You're gonna grab like this. Now you're gonna take your leg like this so they can see it like
No
this.
matter what.
Like this.
Oh, I felt
bend
a
over,
little.
Bend over more, yeah.
I felt it a lot.
I don't know if I can do this.
No, you can do this. This is great.
Trust me.
Listen,
I'd rather
listen.
you do it.
You know the Rockettes?
No. Yes, I do.
Yeah, harder. Now pull him down into it. Pull him down harder. Come on. He said
Resting
your
her forearms on.
he said your mac and cheese recipe is terrible. Hit him. Hit
I don't
him.
make mac and cheese.
Yeah,
Damn it.
yeah, whatever she bought
There
from
we
the
go.
store.
Yes, good.
No,
Is that kind of what you wanted?
no, this is how you get it.
Good.
By
Now
violence.
right. Very good. Now switch other knee.
Give those shots for real.
Come on.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
This is odd. I cannot do this.
Come on, it's not
It is.
It's not odd.
I'm not a violent person. This is hard for
You
me.
don't have to be a violent person. You don't have to be.
I just got out of there with your purse and your keys.
I don't have to be a mechanic to change the tire, man. I just gotta change it. You don't have to be a violent person to be violent.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just have to want to live.
You
See,
see
just
what
so
I did
you
with that
ladies
dumbbell?
know, is anyone even taping this?
Yes,
Thank you.
Hey,
This makes me uncomfortable. I just want to tell you.
You're looking at this-
Good, good.
What am I doing?
Listen, getting attacked makes you really uncomfortable.
Yes, I know.
Grab me, hit me.
But
Hit
it's
me.
private. See, I'm not able to do it
Here
with
you
you
go.
better.
No. Come on.
Because I know you.
Come on, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
I just
Come
stepped on
on.
your foot.
It's alright, switch knees, switch
See,
knees.
that's easier.
Switch knees. Put it all the way back, like the Rockette. All the way back. Come on. Yes. Come on. Very good. So you're like this.
That was less
Hey,
awkward.
why don't you show me the bathroom?
Okay.
Come on, where you at? Grab my neck, grab
Oh,
my
right
neck.
now?
Yes, hit me, yes, go.
What am I supposed to
Bam,
do?
yes. Bam means snatch me down. Yes?
Uh-huh.
Do like this. One, and then drag back and push me to the ground.
Really?
Really?
You think I can do this?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Go. Go. Now drag me down. Yes. Good. All right?
Oh, my worst nightmare.
I'm supposed to hurt you? I want to.
It's only a self-defense class. What am I doing here?
I know.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Oh.
Yes. Now do that a couple times with somebody making you feel uncomfortable. Like, why don't you show me the
Oh yeah, that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Right, it's creepy as heck.
Yes.
I get paid to be really good at this. I'm a clown, thank you. He was like, I'm so
I've been
embarrassed right
freaked out
now.
since I met
Which
him.
one's that?
None of them have like
No,
no
the
signs.
guessing game. There's like a ninja behind one of the doors that
Yeah.
attacks you.
One of them beats the hell out of you.
Or a toilet that doesn't flush, one of the two.
Yeah. I paid the bills out of that one.
So that's the idea, for real. The idea in this is to connect this superhero world that people think is going to happen. Like, I'm going to go, hey, I'm going to grab your wrist. I do this, and you do something where I go, oh, please stop. Don't hurt me. No, it's not going to happen that way. I'm going to do just that, and I'm going to grab you by the throat and force you into that battle. And so it's the emotional content that overwhelms people like, this is real, right?
Yeah, that was weird.
It was weird doing that.
Not ever taken a class like that before. That was weird.
But when you do it enough,
Yes.
you go, yes,
I can see why you need to practice.
I'm able.
Oh
yeah.
I'm able. Now that I'm able, I feel some kind of different way about it.
Yeah.
Because usually it's that part, because of this thing that makes you a good person,
Mm-hmm.
makes you a great victim.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like this thing.
You can shake it off, though.
Yeah. Thanks.
Good job, kid. Good
Thanks.
job.
Thanks for joining us. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad I didn't get kneed in the berries too many times, so that's good. But we had a fun time, and I know we had some fun with it, but it's very important. Realtor safety is a big deal. Last year, during the Corona stuff, it was like, it wasn't as focused as it was the year before, but we had incidents happen even in our marketplace So these are life-saving skills
Yeah.
and tips that will save your life, will save you from a world of counseling,
Yep.
and it's very important. So,
And what you guys saw here, like what we did, that was like totally real. I was completely uncomfortable with having to do the knee thing and all that other stuff. So you guys got to see real life, first time ever. Definitely need to practice that, I think.
yeah,
Definitely.
and we'll all agree that I came dressed in the proper attire. So thanks for Mike for agreeing with me.
No, he did
but
not.
another couple tips: contact Mike if you want to reach out and talk about getting your own class going, things like that. And another thing, one of my favorite takeaways I think so far was, first of all, do some of this prep work. Know who you're going to meet. Do all that kind of stuff. When you're showing a house, don't get in between. Don't put yourself in a non-escapable position. Don't walk into that room first. Don't let them close the door behind you. You stay in the hallway. Let them go in first. You stand back. Get closer to the door as they go to the next bedroom and things like that. Be smart.
I think following your instincts is a huge thing with that, but knowing that you're not going to get too close, knowing those things ahead of time, I think is awesome. And those exit strategies, if something does happen, trying to be aware of who to call, what to do. I know it's hard, but if you feel unsafe in the moment, call somebody. Don't suppress that feeling. Do something about it. Like if they are mad about it, oh well, they're mad about it. Like you're safe. That's all that counts, right?
Trust your gut.
Yep.
Trust your gut.
For sure.
And if you come across a shirtless training dummy,
With no arms.
tackle that thing.